Good morning. It's another video documenting the lead up to going to Trinidad next Tuesday to go see this Hans Christian 34, a possible candidate for the Golden Globe race. The thing about it is, it's such a long trip, a big commitment. I've done my research, so when I go there, I'm going to assume it's going to be okay to take transatlantic, and I'm going to buy it. If it's not good, no worries. I'll hop on the flight, come back. Flights to Trinidad weren't too bad, so I'll be out a little bit of money, but not a big deal. It's worth it, I think, to go check out what could be a really good candidate for the Golden Globe. Perhaps not the fastest boat on paper, but something that definitely can hopefully go a long way to surviving the conditions in the Southern Ocean. So I thought I'd let you know how I'm preparing to go to Trinidad to go jump on a boat that I know nothing about, which might seem pretty crazy to a lot of people, but when I was doing delivery work, I would often fly in to some random island, go jump on a boat I knew nothing about, would try to get as much information as I could, but time is money when you're delivering a boat, and you've got crew and you've got an owner waiting and an owner paying for it, so you hop on, and sometimes even the same day you shove off, and it could be for 2,000-3,000 mile passage. So it's really not too far removed for what I usually did in the past for boat deliveries. And this is kind of how I used to pack, and not much different. So I thought I'd go over everything I've laid out. I'll have in a bag and take with me to the boat. Flip this around and I'll go over there. Here's a lot of gear laid out. Not an incredible amount of gear. Probably a little more than I normally would take on a passage, but I want to do some Celestial, get that back into the repertoire for the Golden Globe race. So found a really good deal on a Ebco plastic sextant. They seem to get pretty good reviews. Price was £30, like 40 something dollars. So I bought two of them. Excuse me. Tom Cunliffe's book on celestial navigation. Good basic book. And what else do we have here for Celestial? Universal plotting sheets. We'll have those so we can do our sights. And I can also record that and save these to show Don McIntyre and the race organization at the Golden Globe headquarters. Let them know that I am getting my Celestial back up to par, so I can qualify for the race in 2026. Charts. I've got two small scale charts of the Western Atlantic and Eastern Atlantic. For paper charts, I would love to have some more paper charts, but they're getting expensive. It's hard to get them here, and I really don't really want to be taking a ton of paper charts right now. Maybe in Trinidad I can find a few more of the Caribbean. I also will have charts on this Samsung tablet, and I'll have Navionics on that. There's plenty of other backups as well, so I'll have a Garmin InReach that will give me information, and an Iridium Go for weather routing that links up to my Samsung tablet. So nice to have some weather routing, especially because we're coming up to the beginning of hurricane season. So it'll be good to check that out and make sure that we're safe. And while we have the charts out, speaking of hurricane season, there's Trinidad. So the thought is, after, let's say it takes 7 days to get the boat ready to go, I would hope so. It should be a good weather window because it's got the trades that are still kicking in here. Every day I've been watching for the last week or two, trades have been good. I've got the current with me because you've got the equatorial current coming up, come across. I'm going to tend to go east a bit from Trinidad just because you stay away from the Venezuelan coast. There have been a bit of issues in the past with some pirates there. So not sure if I'm going to do that at night, this passage, or maybe I can do it during the day and check in with Trinidad Tobago Coast Guard, keep an eye on me. Head up into Grenada. I'll stay offshore from Grenada. The plan is to go just in the lee of the Windward and Leeward Islands, and most likely stop up here in St. Martin, simply because I know St. Martin from years of doing work there on yachts. So it's a good place to stop because I know that's going to take 3 to 4 days, this distance here, Trinidad to St. Martin. And on a new boat, getting ready to go transatlantic to the UK, I know I'll probably have a lot of questions and I'll probably have forgotten a lot of things. So I can stop there and provision and find parts. I've got a solar panel. There are 2 solar panels on the boat. They are quite old from what I can tell. That's not a problem necessarily, but I want to have a backup. So I've got a solar controller and another battery bank. So at least I can charge up a battery bank and keep communications going and weather routing and charge up my navigation tablets. Real cheap on Amazon. You can get a whole bunch, I think it's 30 something flags of the courtesy flags for the Caribbean in case I need to stop at one of the islands on the way up. So St. Martin will be in there. Getting optimistic. I've got the burgee for the Royal Leamington Yacht Club, so I can be up to reg when I pull up into Leamington, if I make it that far, let's hope, with the boat. And also have a courtesy flag for the UK. Make sure you get the red ensign and don't get just the regular Union Jack flag. That's a no-no. It's an American flag vessel, so got the stars and stripes there. Kindle. Never used a Kindle before. I've always just used my phone or just brought real books. So splurged and got a Kindle. Nail polish. Good to cover up some lights if you want to get a red glow to any lights. Speed stitch for sails. GoPro. Got to learn how to use that, so I'm not just using my phone for these videos. It's early days for the Gunner Sales channel. Hope to have a lot of regular videos on hand. Reed's Nautical Almanac, so I can have the data for site reductions, and as approaching the European coast, I can have all the tide data, port information. It's a big book, it's heavy, but I think that's worth the have. I know I could probably download it, but that's all right. I like having a book. I'm old enough where I like to feel it, smell it, touch it. And for the HO249 reduction tables for the sextant, I have downloaded onto my tablet. Now for the Golden Globe race, I won't be allowed to do that, so I'll have to have the actual books. That's fine. Still trying to track those down. This is a pilot atlas of the Atlantic Ocean for each month, with great circle routes. Again, it's a bit heavy, but I like having the pilot charts. It's nice. Aqua tabs, just to keep water fresh. Put those in the main tank because you never know what's going on. I'll try to filter any water I put onto the boat. I won't drink probably out of the tank. On this, it's an unknown, so I'll probably buy bottled water. But there's some 5-gallon water jugs as well, so I can collect some rainwater if needed. And if I'm worried about the water, I can use some aqua tabs on that. Headlamp, always important. I usually have a bunch of those hanging around. It's white and red. I use this cycling, but it's a really bright light I can recharge. Gerber tool, the best. Sorry, Leatherman. Gerber tools are the absolute best. Don't leave home without it. Passport. Just renewed that. That's very important. And the sunscreen. Got to have sunscreen and a lock for the dinghy. There is a dinghy and an outboard that come with that boat. Moving on, more. We have super greens. Got to have your greens. Never used this before. We'll try it. Some yeast. So maybe I can try baking a little bread. I'm going to try some sprouts. Maybe I can grow some sprouts. And what's else? Oh, there's Ted. Ted always makes an appearance. Say hi. Say hi to the crowd. He's a good boy. I wish he could come, but he's going to stay here and hold down the fort. Moving on to some gear that I'll take with me. Of course, it's going to be June in the Southern Caribbean, and moving into July if I do take the boat and make it across. It's going to be warm, but when we get up north, of course, I'll need some cold weather gear. Also, this isn't for lounging around and snorkeling in Trinidad. It's in case I get something wrapped on the boat, propeller, I can get down there and and cut it loose. My old sea boots, they're a bit worn out, so probably time for some new boots eventually. A hat, some gloves, really dirty gloves. I use those in mountain biking, so they're quite dirty, but I'm sure they'll work. A puffy jacket, a lightweight jacket for the tropics, just in case it rains. My Decathlon, they don't sponsor me. Maybe they should. I've never seen anyone with Decathlon foul weather gear, but it seems like good stuff. I haven't used it in anger, but seems like it's pretty good stuff. So we'll see how the Decathlon gear works offshore. So that's it. That's a quick video in my nice little back garden here. It's a nice day. It's a nice garden, although I prefer boats. It's quite idyllic. That wraps up what I'm taking on the trip, and I'll keep you informed on how it goes on my way to Trinidad. That's it. Bye.